So as it says, I'm in charge of the press at American Society for Microbiology. A little bit about the American Society for Microbiology. So American Society for Microbiology. It is an old established society started by a few bacteriologists back in two previous centuries ago. Now it is a huge tent of microbiologists because we know that microbes are much more than just bacteria. They're viruses, fungi, parasites. We have people who study pathogenesis, molecular genetics. It's a very large tent, and so we produce a lot of content. We publish 13 journals, 2 of which are open access, and we have a book publishing concern. One of our challenges is, and that we're working on, is trying to figure out how to consolidate, aggregate all of the content that we publish as a society and present that as a premier place for people to come and learn about microbiology. So as a society, we've started an enterprise to kind of attack that and get to that. Our mission is to help people understand, first of all, that only 10% of the cells in their body are actually human. So 90% of your body is bacteria, mostly in your gut. And so our mission approaches that, to talk about the central role of microbes in the world. So
there's a reason this was after lunch?
So this is a packaging issue, too.
Yeah, it's all about context, isn't it? So let me tell you a little bit about what I work on. When I first got to ASM just over 2 years ago, what I found was a print-centric publishing program for books. Okay? Very much concentrated on publishing a print book, selling it to an individual, either from a website or through a reseller, such as Ingram. And they had not, and they'd taken a few stabs at doing ebooks, but what they hadn't done, and what we're working on now, is taking the lessons that journal publishers learned over the past decade about getting their content online and applying that to books. So that's what we're working on. So right now, the snapshot is that we publish about 6 to 10 books a year. We have reference manuals. The Manual of Clinical Microbiology is probably our premier reference manual. Over the past 30 years that we've been publishing books, this is the only one that's gone into double-digit editions, but it's going to be around for a while. We also publish textbooks. It's very important. It's probably our primary revenue source. We do trade and general interest books, and we also do monographs. So like Kent, if you are an author in one of my monographs, I've published a beautiful review chapter in there. You do not get found on PubMed. You do not get a lot of credit. You do get my thanks. Sometimes you get royalties. But it's a problem in recruiting authors to get them, what is the benefit to me? So we're working on that. So what do we publish now? So we publish print books. We are working on publishing ebooks. We're working on publishing ebook chapters and ebook collections. And our ebook collections are something that we're offering to institutions. We also, as a press, publish 2 online-only periodicals, and they're going to go live this summer. And here they are. Ecocell Plus, which is a serial of collection of reviews that's growing and growing as a researcher's kind of dream reference source on E. coli, salmonella, and other internal bacteria. And then Microbiology Spectrum, which publishes a range of reviews across the different topics in microbiology. Okay, so how are we starting to publish that's different now? One of the things that I've been working on for the past 2 years is getting, let me just do this a little bit more so you can see it. There we go. So working on this enterprise solution that ASM has, which is called ASM Science, which is going to aggregate all of the microbiology content. And we're starting in 2 places. We're starting with the ASM journals and the ASM books. Eventually, anything that we produce as a society will be on here, whether it's behind a paywall or open, such as colloquia, webinars, etc. We're starting with books and journals, and it's kind of a novel idea in that we're integrating our book and journal content, and so that it's all, when you do a search on our site, it returns chapters, it returns articles, it returns figures, anything that we put on there and we've tagged. as far as what I'm controlling or adding to this, about over 200 books, these 2 e-periodicals, and then we have some books that we're selling on ASM Science. You can order a book that's print only, or that the digital edition exists elsewhere, and I'll explain why that is. So this is the landing page of ASM Science. So first of all, I'll tell you, I have no results to report because this has not gone live yet. So I'm really just explaining to you what we've got structured, what we're setting up to do, and in about a year or two, I'll have some results to see whether all these experiments that we're trying to increase discoverability of book content are going to pay off. So here's our landing page. This is how you get to the books. This is what you'd find when you go to the books landing page. So it kind of explains where you are, presents our books, and how you can search, browse, and discover all the books. But you can also discover the journal content at the same time. Can I have a glass of water? Here's where our periodicals the press publishes. They exist along with the other periodicals that the association publishes. And we have a member magazine. Thank you. Too much Sudafed. All right, so what do you see when you're searching for a book, when you land on a book page? This is where it's important to understand about the tagging and structuring of your book XML so that you get the kind of presentation that you hope for. So first of all, when you land on a books page, it filters stuff by date rather than by title. You can actually get it to sort by alphabetically if you know the title of the book you're looking for. But most of the people prefer to just have the most recent stuff available to them. So that's how it sorts. But how do you know what's in these books? So you need to have the description of your book evident right there. So what we used to do was turn over the back of the book and read what's inside the book or on the leaf. Here you've got it presented basically as an abstract of the book. And the user can filter however they want. So book content is presented similar to journal content because it's aggregated. We want people to be familiar with what they're, to already kind of understand how to access it. So you've got a book landing page, and it's presented with each chapter individually. Each chapter has an abstract. That's very important in finding discoverability. So when we send out metadata about our books, we not only include a book description, but we include a chapter abstract for each of our titles. So people want to understand. So first of all of this is freely available. There's no paywall because we want people to be able to discover what's in these before they make the decision about whether they want to buy or not. So our book content is full text, HTML. If you have access to this entire book, start with the abstract and you just go reading on down. Or you can download and save, print out the PDF by chapter. We also have images that are downloadable to PowerPoint. And as a user of this platform, you can also personalize it. You can, if you have access to a book, you can highlight it. You can have save it in different places. You can also sign in through your institution. You can sign in as an individual. You can sign in as both, so that if your institution has access to certain reference materials or books, and you have additional, they'll all be aggregated right there for you if it recognizes you in both places, which you can do. All right, so who do we sell to now? So once again, individuals are very important. Individuals can purchase print book, an ebook, and we offer ebooks to individuals as either PDF or EPUB files. You can also purchase a chapter as an EPUB, as a PDF, and you can also subscribe to Ecocell, one of our periodicals. Individuals can also buy or rent e-textbooks, but e-textbooks don't live on ASM Science for a very good reason, because there is no DRM on this platform. That was an important distinction to make, because journal users are kind of resisting DRM, and so we wanted to be able to follow the same model. but I want to sell more than one textbook to the University of Iowa. So I didn't put them on here, getting them to individuals at another platform. We also sell books to resellers still. We do have some companies that will sell our e-books as well. But our new market that we're opening up to books is institutions. Up to this point, institutions would buy a print book, put it on their shelf, or they might buy an e-book, put it in their collection. But what we've done is structure our entire collection of books, e-books, as either backlist or frontlist, and we're offering them for perpetual purchase, to institutions. They can also subscribe to them on an annual basis, but we are finding that institutions want to own the content. They want to have unlimited use of it for their patrons, and so buying is definitely the way that's more popular. If an institution only wants one or two titles, they can find them at eBrary or My iLibrary, but what I'm hoping is that institutions will find the corpus of our books to be so valuable that they will go ahead and buy the collections. So the real reason you're here is, well, what have we done to really enhance discovery of our ebooks? So the first thing that we did was make sure that we had standardized metadata that was very rich. We use Onyx. I would love for institutions or trading partners to be accepting Onyx 3, but nobody is. It's a wonderful, wonderful metadata system that allows you to put a lot of information in there, but everybody's still accepting the previous version, so that's what we're working with. On ASM Science, we make sure that we make it very easy to find the ISBN for the book, either the print or the e-ISBN, and also the DOI. Our content is all structured in NLM XML, and the XML structuring is very, very important and very rigorous, of course. And we make sure to design and display DOIs for chapters, along with the whole book and with figures. So I think that's probably one of the best keys to increasing ebook discovery, is having a DOI that persists and goes along with your little different chunks of your book. So you can see that if you're looking at the whole book and you pull up a chapter, you can find the DOI, you find the summary, the abstract of the chapter. You'll also see that each chapter is presented as full text. It aggregates all the figures that are in that chapter, all the tables that are in that chapter, references. It's very handy-dandy and very user-friendly. This just shows a DOI of a figure. Travels along with it, so easy to find. The other thing that we've done is that we've created chapter abstracts, like I said, and we've also got keywords for every chapter, and those travel along with it. Those key concepts are very important to discovery. So all of this content is outside a paywall, like I said, so that a potential buyer or a student who's looking for something specific in a chapter can find out, have a really good idea of if what's behind the paywall is going to satisfy them or not. The other thing that we also expose that I didn't say is the first 2 pages of each chapter's PDF are freely available on the website, so people can read those. And there's the PDF. And the PDF has a citation on every page for the book. There's a citation that follows every figure, so not only DOI, but you get proper citation. So what we're trying to do is encourage people to do proper attribution of all their resources, and so we just make it easy for them. I've already said we have complete metadata. We also offer MARC records for our ebook collections. So I think that's very important. That makes it easy for the library. Here's a typical PDF, and you can see that we have the citation. We also have a watermark on it that is put on there as the PDF is downloaded from the site that really attributes that PDF to the owner. So the institution will be watermarked, or whoever's got owns that book, so that as they share, and our scientists love to share with their colleagues, they will pass PDFs along that they purchased that they give away, but at least it sort of says where that came from, Yale University or somebody's private library. What does our platform allow us to do? So first of all the content on our platform is semantically enriched as it's loaded. Okay? And that creates the ability for someone who owns and has access to all that content to do very granular searches and get specifically what they want. It's very contextual in what it's going to return to you for your queries. Let's see. Whoops. So we also have the mobile optimized display so that it adjusts automatically to the reader's screen size. We don't have to develop specific apps for that, so we're pretty happy about that. That's just a feature of our platform. We also have it supports open URLs, link resolvers, and I'll explain a little bit more about that. One of the things that we've done that's really important is make sure that the platform was talking and linking to a whole bunch of distribution partners. So I think that's probably, in addition to getting your content structured and tagged the way you should, you also need to make sure that it's going to be disseminated through all the places that your customers are looking for it. So we are indexed by the web scale discovery services. We also get indexed and crawled by ANI databases. We're also, the content is structured in such a way that it's optimized for search engines. Okay, so I wanted to provide this list of complete linking and trading partners this is just a feature of the platform provider. This is the way, really, that you want to be able to say your content is pushed out to the universe. I'm not trying to advertise our platform provider, but this is a pretty complete list, and I'm very happy with it. So then, in addition, the things that we've tried in order to get our content more discoverable is that we've offered free reads of ebooks. We allow people to download and read a book for free for a week. We also help our librarians who are buying our e-collections with information about what that collection contains and sample communications out to their patrons so that the patrons will recognize what has been acquired, what's in their holdings, and goes and accesses it and tries it. So as much as you can help your librarians help their patrons, that improves the ability of your content to be discovered. And then we're also talking about alt metrics. Keeping our authors happy is very important, so we are looking to be able to report to our authors how much social media buzz their chapter is generating. So we're finding that, we're reporting back to them, collecting that. And so that is really all I had. Thanks.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Delighted to hear you're doing chapter level DOIs. Are you registering chapters in Crossref?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
You mentioned watermarking
Yeah.
for the download. Did you run into any pushback on forum?
Not at all. No.
We found we ran into, we did a similar thing. And we found we ran into some libraries' privacy policies.
So far, so good. So I'm hoping that people just get used to it because, I mean, they own it, and if their patrons are going to share it with others, I think they'd like to get the credit for it at least.
Okay. Thank you, Christine.
Sure.
Christine.